Yeah, sweet.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. We're back with another show review, but also multiple show reviews, two show reviews, I guess, and mainly an interview with the big man himself, the talk of UK amateur bodybuilding from this weekend, Mr. Jamie Harrison. So, mate, give us a bit of an intro. People will probably know who you are after seeing you on stage this weekend. Obviously, we kind of know who you are, but we've not spoke much, but we've seen you in Derby and stuff and Be Modified. So give us a bit of a sort of
Yeah.
brief overview of who you are and how this weekend's been.
Obviously originally from Carlisle, Cumbria. I joined the Marines at 16. Had a career in the Marines for like 5 years, and then left and just basically started bodybuilding from there. I always wanted to just train and kind of get into. Well, I've always been into obviously weightlifting, but like I was mainly in the Marines wanting to just bodybuild. So that kind of gave me that, I just wanted to leave and get out and do that. So as soon as I left the Marines, started bodybuilding. So that's been about 7 years now. And yeah, just obviously progressing through that and, getting to where I am now. So yeah.
It's cool, man. Didn't know that. Didn't know that about it. So
Yeah,
in
man.
terms of this weekend, obviously we knew Reese actually mentioned it in the last podcast, so like from the other day. He was saying like by the time that this one comes out, which was the other day, he was like, Jamie's probably already won an overall. And he was right. So obviously you did the Two Bro show on Saturday, and then you did the PCA on the Sunday. So talk us through like
Yeah.
what's your sort of main plan for this year? Obviously, I'm assuming it's to get the pro card. So just chat us through what sort of the plan is for the season and how the first sort of couple of shows have gone.
Yeah, so obviously, like I did compete last year at Two Bros, and I came second to that one, and obviously that lit the fire to kind of try and push for it this year. So I had a good off season with Martin Winston, my coach. Obviously the main goal is to become obviously IPB pro. Obviously did the Two Bros show, like I say, Saturday. I was obviously really wanting to win that to obviously go to Alicante and compete on Sunday, just to solidify, you know, the confidence in himself to go and do that show and try and win it. And then obviously I just jumped on that PCA show as well because I've never done one, never done a PCA show. So I just wanted to kind of, again, more exposure, more stage time. Pictures are really good with PCA. The federation's really good. So just jumped on that as well. And it's just been a mint weekend, like, so yeah. And then obviously I'm going to go and fly to Alicante, Spain tomorrow. So I'm just mad packing at the minute, going around everywhere, getting food prepped and stuff, and just kind of pulling that water off post show from the big carb ups and stuff now. Just obviously I've been on proteins and fats now for the last, like today, just nailing the water, obviously, just getting that kind of film off again and just kind of dropping back in to then fly back out to Alicante and then go through the full process again, do the full peak week and see what happens out in Spain.
Exciting, man. Really exciting. What was your impression then heading into like the shows? Like obviously you said PCA was like quite like good fun. Like speaking, obviously we'll first touch upon the Two Bros one. Like going in, were you like, I'm here for the overall? I know you said you were happy to win it, but were you thinking, did you know anybody you were up against? Is it a case where you were just like, I'm going in just to see? Because obviously, like I spoke to you a few days before, and like I said to you, like the way you look, mate, is ridiculous. Like I think you made some serious strides forward from the last time that you competed. That's for definite. So where was your head going in? Were you like, I want to win, I want to do everything, I want to win everything pretty
Yeah,
much?
absolutely, mate. Like, obviously, I always want to go in there and win. I'm never like cocky or like really too overconfident. I never feel that way. I think that's the best way for me to be because it just drives me to be better all the time. I never look at my physique and be like, yeah, I'm fucking win. Do you know what I mean? I've never been that way. Of course, I want to fucking win. Do you know what I mean? Sorry if I can swear on podcast.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm potty mouth as well all the time, but yeah, I knew obviously that Matthew Soleri, we were chatting before, and obviously he was competing with me in supers. So it's quite a small show though. With like, there's not many guys competing to us. I wish it was a bit more of a bigger lineup, just to, do you know what I mean? Have a bit more fun with it, more people.
yeah.
I always like to have a bit more competition, really. And same with PCA as well. There's only one guy in the supers there as well, so it's kind of like small small at the minute, the federations and stuff. But I think that's because the pro quals are not till like back end of the year. I don't think there's one in two bros till like August, or is it September time something? So I think these earlier shows are quite quiet. But yeah, it was obviously brilliant to win it and solidified, my luck and give me some good confidence. So yeah, it's been a wicked weekend, like, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's all good, man. In relation to, let's say, the differences from last year, and to be fair, we will say, mate, once you probably get your pro card, we'll definitely get you in the studio. So we have a studio where we like do things and we'll like do podcasts and stuff. So it'd be great to kind of get you down. We can do something in person. But if you were to talk about, let's say, the differences, you said you were working with Martin. Were you working with Martin for your previous prep, or was it a case where once you were finished, you signed up with Martin, and then like how did things go from there?
So yeah, I was with Saf before for last year's prep, and that was a dig. Like, I mean, not Saf is brilliant, absolutely brilliant guy. He's just
email check-ins, mate. Sorry, were you getting the email check-ins of the double up this, please, bro? Take out this, no hiding.
Yeah, the emails are quite old school. Like, he is very, very old school stuff. But some people like that, some people don't. I don't mind that, to be fair. But when I went with Martin, it was such a different approach completely. But going back, yeah. So last year was I was with Saf, and I did. I was quite out of shape when I first started. And looking back at the pictures, I looked pretty fucking worn out, to be honest with you. By the end of that prep. And I've grown, like I say, if you see these pictures here now, I've grown a fuck ton this last year with Martin. Just absolutely blown up, to be fair. I think I've put on a good 5 kilo muscle, like, and I just look so much fresher.
What would you say has been like the main reason for that? What would you say?
Basically, like, setting the prep up better. So I did get a little bit soft in the off season. I always get a bit soft. I enjoy my food, I enjoy my downtime. I've always done that in bodybuilding. I think that's essential, especially when you've got family and stuff. I always just chill and just roll with it, have fun with it. But just starting the prep in a better position. Our last prep, it was 12 week out. I was very soft. I had to do a lot of cardio. Got shredded, but I was fucked by the end of it. Do you know what I mean? But this one has been bliss. It's felt right easy. 40 minutes cardio was the max I did. Food's been pretty high, and just body's responsive. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see there how full and fresh I look compared to last year. So
really good. I think you've been lean for a while. Like, when we've seen you in the gym, like, you've been pretty lean for quite a while. So it's no surprise, like you say, you've just been able to like be a lot fresher and a lot more responsive going in.
Yeah, it's just weird because it's like I felt like I've been in shape for like all the year, but then not at the same time. It's really strange. But honestly, this prep's been brilliant. It's been the best one I've ever done. Like, and when you get better at it as you go along, don't you? And the more muscle mass you get, you just kind of just becomes a little bit easier, doesn't it? As you go through it.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask as well, mate. Obviously, you don't have to go into all the intricacies. I'm pretty sure Martin will be wanting to keep some of his secrets, but I know you said peak master. What was the peak like when it came to how things were? Again, you don't have to go into all the intricacies. We're actually going to get Martin on for the podcast, and that may be a bit more. But when it comes to differences, any things that you were a bit like as an athlete? Because obviously, especially if you come from like the Marines, which is really cool. Like, I'm guessing you've got that sort of athlete mentality of just following a plan. Was there any times you were a bit like, this is a bit different? Don't know how this is going to work, or was it just a case of he told you what to do? Go to the kind of peak and all that sort of stuff, mate, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually spoke to Martin. Oh, he's just messaging me now, actually, because he said about obviously coming on here as well to speak to you guys. So, but yeah, the peaks, man. Yeah, so obviously every coach does everything different, doesn't they, with peaks and stuff. But I trust Martin with every athlete that he's got on stage always looks like bang on. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's there's a reason behind it. But with Martin, he's just super, like, he's just on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's there in person with you a lot of the time. He makes the effort to obviously come to every show that you pretty much do. He's all over it, like, to be honest with you. But we've collected a lot of data from these shows for Alicante. My body's quite a sponge. We did 1,500 grams of carbs on the first load, and we did 1,400 or 1,300 on a second. So he does load you up with the food. He's not scared to feed you, but that 2-day load, obviously the day before the show, I was full as a house, and I had to pretty much do proteins, fats from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something, just to really pull it off, because I was just bursting. You know what I mean? I was getting tanned up, and I just looked so full. And obviously, we had to pull a little bit that off. So I think obviously that data is collected for Alicante, just to hold it back a little bit with the carbs, because I need to come in really crispy for that. And I just feel like I really love that look for Two Bros. I think we've done a good job, but it could be, we could improve on that 100%. I want my glutes a little bit harder and stuff. So
what did you do between the Two Bros and then the PCA the next day? So obviously, like you said, the PCA was kind of just like jumping into it.
I already know. I already know this. It's the classic, like what you said to me in the gym. I'll just get a burger and some fries and then just roll into it the following. That's all you said, and I was like, class. There was no like,
I went to
pulling water down.
But to be fair, it says here, let's have fun today, burger and fries last night. So that's what you did after the show, and then
Absolutely. I literally went to Five Guys, got a double cheeseburger, got 2 large fries, I got a milkshake.
2 large fries?
Mate, one large fries is impressive. 2 is ridiculous.
You had 1,500 calories.
Nowadays, man, at Five Guys, they're just like, they don't give you large fries, mate. I'm not having it. Like the proper cut back on the potatoes. It's bullshit. So I always complain and get extra potato. So because they just don't feel the same. It's not what it used to be. So yeah, I just had that, and then in the morning just had a cream of rice, 150 gram, nut butter whey, and then just had a ribeye steak. Ribeye steak always sits well with me, and then just jumped on the stage, like, obviously. And yeah, obviously I was a bit softer for PCA with the Five Guys and stuff. It wasn't as sharp, but yeah, it was enough to do the job.
No, that's good, man. If I am again from an outsider standpoint, I followed along. Obviously, I followed you now, mate, for like the last couple of months, and maybe since like last year. I think when we saw each other in Be Modified, and we did the classic meathead of like, "Sup, bro?" That was it. That was all we did. We like, "Sup." That's when I followed you. But from an outsider standpoint, from what I can tell from the prep, it's been a case where, like you said to me, obviously you run flat pretty easy, and it's been like you will have like burger and fries to fill you up, and then obviously a pretty heavy load. So it's almost been like when you've gone flat, burger and fries to fill you up, simple sort of stuff, and then obviously the 1,500 and 1,400 carbs, like obviously in the kind of peak weeks and stuff like that. Were you like really high days like that in the prep itself, or were you just utilizing like go for it Five Guys and stuff like that in the prep? Like what was the refeed?
So earlier on in like the earlier stages of the prep, when obviously we weren't like in shape, it was more just a cheat meal. And then obviously as we went closer and closer, and we got leaner, he obviously wants to track, what carbs do what, and stuff like that, how much fats, how much carbs. So it was more refeeds, like clean, which is good, and I prefer that. Obviously we did do, when I was like super, we did trial, like I said, a dirty burger and fries and stuff like that. And the look's always great for me the next day with that. So I think rolling into Alicante as well, it'll be a little bit less carbohydrates and, potentially like burger and fries night before or something. I think that always gives me such a good look in the morning. I actually had a bit of a meltdown, actually, if I'm not going to lie to you, like after the 2-day carb up, and, when I checked in the morning, my head just went.
That's so common, that. Right, I feel like that always happens. I've heard people say that loads. Like even when I've had clients where I'm like, "Look, you're supposed to be spilled a bit. It's fine. Like you're gonna be watery." And but it is like stressful.
Yeah. Oh man, it is proper, because you just want to see that look, aren't you? But you're still like a day away from stage there. It's still a lot to manipulate. It's just more learning, more experience, more time doing it, and it's just But naturally, you're gonna, if you care about it so much, like you've got so much passion for it, you want to, you want to be your best, don't you? So, but yeah, you get in your own head sometimes. But that's why it's essential, isn't it, for to have a coach there to just reassure you, I suppose.
So the plan is,
100%.
And also, like, sorry, you carry on.
I was just going to say, so the plan is Alicante this weekend. And then
Sunday show.
So from there, let's say you do get your pro card have you spoke about like then pro shows and what the plan will be from there? Because we were literally saying, we just did a podcast before this and we spoke about the PCA show on it, and we were saying like you already should be a pro realistically. Like obviously I'm not like, nobody deserves it until you get it, if you get what I'm saying. But like looking at your physique, when you turn up to a PCA show, it's like, what's he doing? Like why is he there?
Yeah, I mean, I got that feeling when I was there, and even still though, mate, like I've still got self-doubt in my mind, like I actually got this here, like honestly, and that's just kind of, I don't know, just the way I am, I suppose. I never take anything like I've definitely got this. Do you know what I mean? Like you just don't know with bodybuilding as well. But yeah, I appreciate that though. Obviously, saying you should definitely be a pro. Hopefully that is the case in Alicante. But there is Poland. If Alicante doesn't go to plan like 2 weeks later, don't want to think about that. Obviously want to win in Alicante. Hopefully we do. But there is Poland if needs be. But that'll be it for shows though. If it doesn't go well there, because I just need to take some time away and kind of, do normal stuff, bit of life.
Like I say, you got a family. How with obviously your family, how are they with everything? Like, are they really supportive? Is it quite difficult?
So my Mrs. Laura, she supports me absolutely 100%. Like she does loads for me, like cooking all my food, like running around after me. She digs out blind for me, like, and obviously she's got a daughter, so my stepdaughter, she's all over it. She loves the bodybuilding. She's coming to Alicante with us. She loves it though. She loves obviously seeing me compete and stuff. She did me last year compete. So yeah, everyone's super supportive. My dad came and watched the PCA show as well. It's the first show he's ever seen. So yeah, I've got a lot of support, and I've had loads of people on Instagram, which I didn't think would, I didn't think people give a shit. Do you know what I mean? But I've had so much people like messaging me. I'm like, wow, like honestly, I couldn't believe how many people actually care. Do you know what I mean? Like it's mental. But it's cool at the same time. But yeah, I mean, if I do turn pro, it'll be time away, growing, and just I'm getting married next year, so I need that time just to plan all that and just live life, get bigger, and just do a pro show at some point.
It's exciting to see.
If we can, we had a guy literally on the last podcast, Jack, and he said you've got to be £300, and I was like, he told me in the gym he was 110 like a few days before. You've got a very strange physique, mate, where like you look so much heavier than what you actually are. Like the fact that you were 110 like a few days out, and I was like, what the fuck? Like you literally look like 130, 125 in legit stage condition. So your weight like around like what you were. Yeah. What was your weight when you were full? Let's say, so on that Friday morning when you were like, I fucked it, I look awful. What was your weight in that morning, or did you not weigh yourself?
I weigh myself every day. I think I was about 117 or something like that. After I've got on my tracker, like I can have a look, but I think it's about
20 pounds of fullness.
Yeah, literally.
No wonder you were bursting full.
Yeah. Literally, like, I mean, I weigh myself this morning, I was 180.5, but obviously with that kind of rebound post show, and like, obviously I didn't go mad either. I just obviously had the Five Guys and like some chicken thighs and some chips and stuff after the show and that, but even that was enough just to body up.
Some chips. And you say just some chips, is this 3 large like chips from Five Guys?
No. These were actually 3% fat home cooked chips, mate. Honestly. But my body's just like a sponge after it, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, when you hydrate back up again, like you just obviously, because you've been dehydrated for like 2 days as well with the shows, my body just blows up every time, no matter what I eat. So yeah, it's going to come off though. I say proteins and fats today, proteins and fats tomorrow, shipped on the water. It flies off so quick. Like
it's one of those though. You say like your body like blows up. They're usually the ones that are destined to be open bodybuilders. Like you're destined to be usually like your body is just like literally like sucking up all the nutrients. It wants to be fucking massive, So it's no surprise you do.
Absolutely, I grow so fucking well out of shows. That's why one of the reasons why I love doing them. Like today, even like I'm super full today. I did legs today, and I can already see what off season going to be again. Like it's just like constant progress, isn't it? And like I just know how much bigger I'm going to be after this show. It's exciting. Do you know what I mean? Like my body is a sponge every time. So I have no doubt I'll just be like 135 in the off season, which would be lovely. Do you know what I mean? Like you just this monster walking around. Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good.
It'll be good. On a final note for me, I wanted to ask training wise, like you definitely train, I think, slightly differently to maybe some people coming up nowadays. I know
Yeah.
obviously you do like high volume sort of stuff, don't you? Like it's a lot more like feel. Is that? Can you give us a bit of a rationale for that? Because obviously a lot of people nowadays they follow the JP top set back offset. Did you
Yeah.
ever train like that, or is it a
Yeah.
case where like to this?
I've trained like that before, mate, as well. Yeah, it's kind of a mix, to be honest with you. So like, I'm very intuitive. So like, I'll train how I feel. Since I've like kind of into the gym, like when I was younger, I'd just go in the gym, I'd pick up like weights, I'd hit 10 to 12, and I'd just go heavier with the weight until I hit a failure set. So it's basically volume. Do you know what I mean? And that way for me is really fun because I get a really good connection. I always just like basically warming up to that top set. So if you think about it, the two end sets are basically top set, back off set because I'm going to failure on those kind of sets. Do you know what I mean? But it's just in a different fashion. And I don't really overthink things for training, mate. I just go in there, I feel it, and I just train hard, basically. I've had to adapt quite a bit with my leg training because I've got hip bursitis. So I basically have to get injections in my hips every now and again because the pain is just like, I can't squat basically. So I have to like basically get the inflammation down on the hip bursitis. So I have to do quite a lot of volume for my legs, which is annoying because obviously I want to lift a bit more load with them. But yeah, I've got to watch with my legs basically for my hips and fuck. So every leg day I always starts with a quad extension to blow them up and kind of connect to my quads a bit more. If I go straight to squatting, mate, I'll just because I'm strong as well, I'll end up lifting too much and hips will be fucked. So I have to like really plan it out a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I think a lot of people get to that point, especially when you are like you've got fucking hell of a lot of muscle. Like if you were to go in and full send a session, like maybe not now, obviously, like peak off season, you probably will end up just fucking tearing your quads off the the fucking tendons. Like
Yeah.
you'd have some issues. So
I never really go like too heavy or anything like that. To be honest with you, I go moderate to heavy weight. I don't really hit like 6 and below. That's just not really my style. Like, but it's not again a million ways to do it, isn't there? But I just prefer a little bit more volume, a little bit higher rep range, really.
yeah, no, that makes sense. And to be
think
fair, I
as
said
well,
final
like-
question. Sorry, mate.
Go on.
Oh, Finn, carry on.
No, I was just
I was going to say about.
I was going to say when you've got that amount of muscle already, like it makes sense. Like no one's going to question you and go, "Why are you doing that?" Like obviously Reese has just asked you why, but like not in the sense of like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that." Like you don't need to prove anything. You just say, "This is what I like doing."
Oh, Finn, you're saying, but the TikTok kid who has no muscle, who's read a few textbooks and follows a few guys, they're looking at Jamie going, mate,
You're
that's
doing
not
it
failure.
wrong.
That's not all. That's
wrong, that
with
mate.
RAR. Oh, yeah, it's not
That's
good.
it, man. That's it.
Yeah,
I think you got to find your own groove, man, and just kind of roll with it. I think enjoy it, man. Like I enjoy just going in the gym, not overthinking. I used to do the logbooking stuff, and like it just took away from my session. I could just sitting there writing in there. I just couldn't focus. Whereas if I don't go in there and do that, I just kind of roll with it. I just have much more fun. And that's where I progress most. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And like I said before, Finn jumps in or we jump in. I was actually going to ask diet wise. Last question for me: in the off season, what is your food like? Is it because, like I said, you're a big guy? Like food get really high. Like what are we talking calorie wise?
Not as much as you think, man. Maybe like 5.
Yeah.
I grow like
food.
pretty.
Yeah, just.
I'll chuck in a good Turkish midweek, and I'll always have something on the weekend as well. Like, that definitely bumps it up, doesn't it? Let's be fair. So, like, I say 5, it's probably touching a lot more because I'll have bits and bobs. But it is just obviously clean food throughout the week, and then just like I'll always have off meals. I always do that, mate. I love eating out. It's my thing. Do you know what I mean? So I always make time for the cheap meals, but Yeah, I mean, I probably get a little bit too sloppy in the off season. Like this next off season, I want to really try and control, especially
But that's a
obviously
lie.
because I've
Everyone
got
says this. Anyone who's heavy and gets soft
yeah,
in their off season and they're lean are like, I'm going to control this well. Mate, you're
I
8 kilos.
know.
You've done 2 shows and you're 8 kilos up. The second you're done, you've won your pro card and you've
Yeah.
regained kilos
Oh
from just
yeah.
overalls. When you win your pro card, you're going to be at peak off season weight within a week, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, fuck it, I'm here now."
Yeah.
And you'll
I
probably
mean,
just
yeah,
be
you are
growing
probably
like
right.
mad anyway. You just absorb it all anyway,
You
so it's
probably,
sound.
yeah, you're probably right, mate. You are absolutely right. If I win a pro card, mate, I'm going absolutely fucking nuts.
And I
You
will
know,
say as well, the Alicante. I don't know if you're into ice cream, but the Alicante ice cream is stupid, mate.
am I
It's
into
an
ice
absolute
cream?
joke.
There's a bear
Yeah.
shit in the woods.
Yeah. So, mate, you'll be.
Yeah.
I remember my girlfriend competed out there, and when she got off, we literally were just looking around because I was a week post show. We were like, "What the fuck? This is a joke."
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Eagles, when he pro card, said he bought like we got told he bought 4 or 5 pints of just ice cream and
Yeah.
ate them within one sitting.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a
Mate,
joke.
it's mad. It's mad, though, isn't it? Because like to be honest with you, I don't like the post-show kind of food bit. It annoys me for maybe 2 to 3 weeks because I'm just so in the head with it all because you've been so
Yeah.
strict with food
Yeah, you don't
and
want to
like
get
all
fat.
that. And like not only that, like my stomach's just so bloated no matter what I eat. So like I want to eat, my mind's saying switch off and eat, but then my stomach's bloated, but then I can't stop eating. I hate it. I hate it.
And your
I must.
digestion's
I
like off.
prefer.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I prefer like 3 or 4 weeks post where I've kind of settled down, that focus has gone a bit, and I just kind of just roll into it a bit. So, I always say I'm gonna not go mad, but I always end up bloated to fucking just just annoyed at myself. It happens every time. I'll learn one day. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe after like your first pro win, mate. So
Yeah, maybe
we'll
once
see.
you're an
Exactly.
established pro. I was going to say that. It's like then you're like, I best do it properly now. I best take it seriously.
Yeah. To be fair though, like, I've got like a bulging like disc on my L5. So like when I put weight on really quick, my back really does suffer. So
Yeah.
I have actually said to Martin, I really do need to control it a little bit because that last rebound from the last show, I went up to like 33 kilo from 116 in like about 4 weeks because we blew up like on purpose. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we utilized that post-show window. Definitely grew, but I put on obviously a lot of weight, and my back was just fucking killing me. So yeah, I definitely want to try and do it a little bit slower and push up a little bit slower. 100%.
Cool, man. Right, we'll wrap it up. Appreciate having you on, mate. Thank you for your time. And best of luck.
Yeah,
Obviously for this weekend, we'll be keeping an eye out, mate. Wish you all the best.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you after Alicante. See what's what.
No,
Yeah,
no,
man.
definitely, mate. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we can get you in the studio. We can have a chat on like the whole season itself, because like I feel like we could literally talk for hours. But obviously, firstly, the Zoom thing ends in 2 minutes, so we're going to get kicked off in 2 minutes. Secondly, you've got to be prepping your meals and stuff for tomorrow. So have a safe flight, mate. Appreciate you coming on, especially obviously within a busy sort of schedule for the next couple of days. And yeah, best of luck for the week.
No, I appreciate the chat, boys, and I'll see you when I see you. Cheers,
Cool,
guys.
man.
Right.
Cheers.
That way, that guys. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Right, we're still on, mate.
Right.
We're still here.
Oh, wow, 2 minutes, mate. Anything? This is the post.
That was good for me. I removed him. I was but every time it's like panic stations. I'm like, I need to remove the guest, but I don't want to be rude and remove them too early or remove them too late, and I don't want it to cut us out. So yeah, I feel like that went well. Yeah, mate.
No,
anything
that was
to chat about? He was sound, wasn't he? Really nice guy.
Yeah, you almost imagined a fucking massive bodybuilder. You like see how he is.
It's
you're
always the same, though, isn't it? Like
you almost have that level of like. He was lovely.
Yeah, but everyone is like, it's I can't remember where I saw it. It might have been on like JP on their story about the gym, and they were like, speak to the biggest guy in the gym and I guarantee he'll be the nicest and he'll help you out. Like if you're worried about what you're doing or you don't know what you're doing, speak to the biggest guy and I guarantee he'll be nice. But to be fair, usually the biggest guy in there is probably what JP, and he's sat screaming at a bar. So maybe people are a bit put off by that.
Yeah. So yeah. No, it's nice, isn't it? Especially like because, like I said, I've spoken to Jamie, and we've spoken to Jamie a few times, but not a lot. But that was just a nice sort of chat regarding a guy who genuinely is like top end of the amateurs and soon to hopefully be a pro. And he's always one of those, you have that level of anticipation where you think like, oh, I wonder how they're going to be, because you see a big dude, you see a guy who's like, because he's an intimidating looking guy, like bold, big dude, masculine sort of man. I absolutely love it. Me and Finn love that sort of man. We look at him and think, oh yeah, let's get him on the podcast in the podcast studio. We'd love to get him in the podcast studio.
Need to get him in the
Jamie, we're
studio.
joking, mate, if you're watching this part. But yeah, no, it was a good chat. So yeah, that's that, guys. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Any suggestions for little interviews like this for people, or likewise people you want to get in the studio, please let us know. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye bye.